story starts with a girl named Jingxi, who seemed to be running scared from someone or something. Meanwhile, a guy named Hao called her and asked where she was. Jingxi told him she was in the parking lot. He told her to stay right there as he was on his way, but just then she got into an accident. He rushed her to the hospital. When Jingxi regained consciousness, Hao asked how she was feeling. Jingxi looked at him like he was a surprise test and asked who he was. He seemed shocked and asked if she didn't recognize him. He then went off to consult the doctor, who explained that due to the accident, her brain was slightly affected, resulting in memory loss. The doctor suggested that taking her to familiar places might help her recall things. The guy nodded like a responsible YouTube vlogger and agreed. 2 weeks later, he brought Jingxi home, introduced himself with a name June that wasn't actually his, and declared that they were lovers. Jingxi looked confused and said she remembered nothing. He reassured her, saying everything would come back soon. Later, Jingxi went to the washroom and while looking into the mirror, saw a faint image of someone. She murmured to herself that she remembered nothing. On the other hand, another guy named June was also imagining Jingxi's face in a mirror and crying over her memory. The story then jumped to Jingxi and the Hao were going to America to start a new June and fulfill their dreams. They seemed to be having a good time sightseeing, while June sat back home, drenched in Jingxi's memories and dramatic lighting. At one point, Jingxi asked about a golden-colored girl and Hao told her that she was a performance artist. She started playing with the performance setup, and Hao shared that this was the very place where they first met and where their love story began. Jingxi, not buying this romantic Netflix pitch, asked if he could tell her more about how they met. He told her that she needed to remember things on her own. Jingxi rolled her eyes and left. Later, she went on stage to give a performance. A judge stopped her and played a compilation of her rehearsal and audition videos. Jingxi looked puzzled, probably wondering if this was a talent show or a blackmail episode. The judge told her a guy had been sending all these videos to help find her. He'd even been emailing for months. When she asked who it was, the judge said the man didn't want to reveal his name, but wanted her to pursue her dream and perform. She began her performance, and during it, everything started coming back to her. June, their shared past, and all the emotional baggage. By the end of the act, the judges were clapping because her performance was outstanding. After the show, Jingxi was crying backstage when Hao approached. She asked again who he was. He replied that he was Jun. Jingxi didn't buy it and accused him of lying, demanding the truth. Then came a flashback from a year ago when Jingxi was locking her bicycle, working as a performance artist. A thief stole a lady's purse nearby. As fate would script it, June appeared just then, and Jingxi, mistaking him for the thief, smacked him with a belt and tied him up like a misused yoga strap. June protested that he wasn't the thief, but Jingxi wasn't ready to listen. She tossed his keys away, which landed in a moving car. The chaos escalated and they both ended up at the police station, where the real purse-snatching lady confirmed June wasn't the thief. Jingxi was shocked and apologetic. June told the cop to arrest Jingxi because he was working on an important project but got delayed because of her. Jingxi was shocked and apologized profusely to him. He forgave her with some dramatic flair but warned that this wasn't the end. Later, when Jingxi returned to get her bicycle, 2 boys tried harassing her. Just then, June showed up and declared she was his woman and started bashing the guys. Jingxi sat in the car, stunned, while June proudly proclaimed that now she'd know what a real hero looked like. June joked that she should stop staring already. When he dropped her off, she begged him not to file any charges or legal complaints. He told her to focus more on not leaving the country. Jingxi, channeling sass, threatened him playfully and left, while Ming, June's big brother, was talking to Grandpa, who told him to warn June that he should focus on business before obsessing over girls. The next day, June saw that his passport had been exchanged with Jingxi at the police station. June started searching for her using the passport photo. A woman told him she might be at a studio. June headed there, unaware that some local goons were also tracking her and had arrived at the same spot. While Jingxi had come on stage to perform, the goons were still looking around for her. Just then, the goons also arrived, and once again a fight broke out. As the fight escalated, everyone ended up on stage, ruining Jingxi's performance. In the chaos, a rope snapped, and Jingxi nearly fell, but June quickly pulled her aside, saving her. Both of them left the stage, but Jingxi was badly injured. Later, she approached the judges and apologized for everything, offering to perform again. However, the judges refused, saying that she was disqualified, and the crowd standing there overheard everything. As Jingxi was leaving, Chen stopped her to apologize for everything. But Jingxi, clearly fed up, yelled at him, asking why he was always following her. She questioned what his problem was and pointed out that every time he appeared in her Jun, something bad happened. She told him he was her bad luck charm and asked him to stop chasing her. With that, she stormed off. Meanwhile, Jun was at the police station again due to the previous brawl and gunfire. He was released on bail thanks to Ming, who later informed Jun that his grandfather was asking for him. When they visited his grandfather, the old man angrily yelled at Jun, asking why he hadn't started a business yet and why he kept wasting time on software stuff. Jun explained that creating software was his hobby and passion, and he wasn't interested in business. Grandpa was frustrated, claiming Jun's choices caused him endless problems. When Jun asked what problems, Ming casually revealed that Grandpa had paid for his bail. Jun, a little embarrassed, promised to return the money as soon as possible. Grandpa sarcastically asked how Jun would repay him without doing business. He even suggested that Jun marry Wen. Jun immediately refused, saying he wasn't interested in either business or Wen, and definitely not going to marry someone just because his grandfather said so. This angered Grandpa so much that he whacked Jun on the head with a wooden stick. In response, Jun lost his temper and shouted that he loved creating software and would only do that. Meanwhile, Jingxi visited the hospital to see her mom. The doctor informed her that due to the accident, there had been some damage to her mother's brain and she would need surgery. He urged Jingxi to arrange money for the operation as soon as possible, realizing she needed a part-time job urgently for money. The next day, Grandpa met Jun again and said he wanted to place a bet with him. When Jun asked what kind of bet, Grandpa said Jun must enter the finals of the Superpowers contest. If he won, he could live as Jun however he wanted and Grandpa wouldn't bother his brother either. Jun agreed. Grandpa gave him 3 months to first get selected for the training. If he managed that, the rest would follow. Then Grandpa gave the same deadline to Ming, that within 3 months he had to bring Wen and Jun closer or he would lose the bet. Wen is a famous woman and the media was all over her as the Superpowers auditions were about to begin, while Jingxi was still wandering around looking for a part-time job but couldn't find any. By mistake, she ended up inside the Superpowers studio, where a guy asked her who she was and why she was there. Jingxi explained that she was looking for a part-time job. He told her to go backstage where she might find some work. Jingxi started working and gave a mic to the participants, but 2 girls near her weren't paying attention and didn't pick up the mic. One of them accidentally dropped it, creating a loud sound. The girl started yelling at Jingxi, accusing her of not being able to hold a mic properly and ruining an expensive piece of equipment. Jingxi defended herself, saying it wasn't her fault. The girl accused her again, asking if Jingxi was blaming her. Jingxi pointed at her and said she saw her drop it, but the girl, scared of getting caught, denied everything. A lady arrived and immediately asked to fire Jingxi. Jun saw this and he took her away. Outside, Jingxi was standing and Jun approached her, teasing that all this drama must also be his fault. Jingxi replied that it wasn't her fault. The other girl had dropped the mic. Jun noted that everyone still believed Jingxi did it. Frustrated, Jingxi snapped and said, "Fine, she dropped the mic. What did it matter? He could leave now." Jun smugly revealed that the place she was standing belonged to his family's company, and now he had to show his swag there too. He snatched the resume from her hand, looked at it, and asked if she really needed a job. Then he offered her one as his private secretary. Jingxi questioned what kind of job he did that required a secretary. Jun replied that she should only be concerned about the job, not the job description. He said if she accepted, he'd pay her 3 months' salary in advance. She agreed. Later, Jingxi was struggling to lift a heavy bag while Jun was laughing at her. He told her to follow him, and she walked behind him, trying to keep up while juggling her duties. She demanded her advance salary from Jun. Jun took out the money and was about to give it to him, but then pulled it back, saying he suddenly felt overwhelmed with regret. So he tells her to show him a smile first. She smiles at him, and then Jun tells her to smile properly, to show a better smile. She smiles again and gives him money, and then Jingxi starts glaring at him. Later at night, Jun is sitting in a studio, thinking that she paid for her mom's medical fees, but now had nowhere to live and needed to find a part-time job fast. Suddenly, security came and asked her what she was doing in the studio and about to call the police when Jun came and told them that she is his secretary and he sent her here. He starts shouting as to what would happen if she were a criminal. The security apologizes, saying it won't happen again, and June leaves. Later, they both arrive at June's house. He mentioned that he had already paid her 3 months' salary, but she still didn't have enough money for rent. Jingshi tells them that she had already explained that she paid for her mom's medical fees and now she had no money left. Then June told her to stay, but on one condition: she had to leave 1 hour after he did and behave better. Jingshi agrees and tells him that she will also cook food for him from now on. June also added that once she finds a part-time job, she needs to move out, and finally, she will clean his house for free. Jingshi smiles and agrees to the conditions. The next morning when he comes out, he notices all his clothes have been washed and are drying. He shouts in surprise, asking what she has done. Jingsi, while cooking, casually tells him she made breakfast for him and asks what's wrong. He responds by saying she washed all his clothes. Jingsi replies that his washing machine is really good and it wasn't hard for her at all. He asks what he is supposed to wear now, and Jingshi tells him not to be shocked and to wear the clothes she gave him. June questions whether he should wear women's clothes, and Jingshi assures him that they look cute. She points out that the word dream is written on them and suggests he could tell everyone that he is going to make his dreams come true. She gives him one coat, saying they will look fashionable. He protests, saying it's not fashion and that he'll look like a joker. Jingshi insists it's fashionable, and she also says she made breakfast for him so he should hurry and eat. He responds by asking if she doesn't know what he wants, telling her to go get him coffee. Jingshi runs to bring him coffee and they both go outside together. He then reminds her about their conditions, saying she should leave half an hour after he does. Jingshi smiles and apologizes, saying she forgot, and tells him he can go now. June steps out, laughing, while she gets really angry and quickly brings him food. Meanwhile, a girl tells June that he looks very different today and that her kitty looks really cute. Jingshi laughs, and suddenly June's phone was ringing. It was Wen. June gives his phone to Jingshi, telling her that as his secretary, it is her job to answer his calls. Jingshi answers the call, telling the person that she is Jingshi, his secretary, and he is unavailable. Wen asks who she is and what her relationship with him is, but Jingshi at last told her that it's June who told her to say that he was busy. Jing gagged by thinking this girl is so dumb. Wen's dad told her that she should participate in the Superpower Finals training. Wen responds that she is already a star and doesn't need to participate. Her father told her that if she wins the competition, he won't marry her. Wen gets upset upon hearing this and asks why he doesn't like her. Her father replies that's exactly why he's telling her to participate, so she can always be around him and make a place in his heart. Wen gets happy and thanks her father. Meanwhile, Ming also tells June that he is participating in the competition. June says she doesn't want to do this, but he tells her that Grandpa arranged everything so she could get closer to Wen. June gets angry and says he doesn't need any of this as he just bluffed that he will participate. And if Grandpa keeps doing this, he'll leave the country. Then Ming said that if he didn't participate, he would lose the bet and wondered what would happen next. And June just said he would handle it in his own way, while Jingshi got a part-time cleaning job. Then Tom made her entry. She was the head of the trainees and guided them. The manager told them that there were a total of 16 trainees, and even if she gave each one just a 1-minute introduction, it would take 16 minutes. She said she didn't have that much time to waste and wouldn't take introductions. Then she told them to leave, and when Ming approached her, he asked if she was still angry. He mentioned that even Wen was participating. At that moment, Tom questioned what was going on, why a star was participating in the talent show. She got angry, saying that since those people were rich, they could do anything. Ming asked her to at least give them a trial, and if she didn't like the performance, she could eliminate them, but he asked her to let them participate first. She said fine, but stated clearly that all trainees were equal for her, and she wouldn't give any special treatment. The dividing ceremony began, where all the trainees were to be divided into 2 teams. Team leaders were assigned, and the host told them to start selecting members one by one for their team. Ming told his manager that everything would go as planned. The manager agreed, saying that as soon as the first button was pressed, Wen's name would come up first, and she would go into June's team. June was about to press the button but then stopped and decided not to use that technique. He said he would choose members on his own. The manager assured Ming him not to worry, saying they also had a backup plan, and Wen's brother Huo was instructed not to select Wen. Then the 2 team leaders began selecting members one by one. When there's only one girl and Wen left, Hua asked June why he didn't select Wen, who was a popular star. June said, "A strong player should go to a weak team to maintain balance." Hearing this, Hua selected another girl, which made June extremely angry. Then the host said Wen was the last girl left, and June had no choice but to have her in his team. June saw Wen approaching and reminded them he had already said he wouldn't take her in his team. A strong player should go to the weaker team, and both teams should have equal members. Since Wen was the only one left, she would naturally go to Jun's team, but Jun insisted he had already pre-selected a trainee. Wen was shocked and asked whom he was talking about. Jun pointed to someone and said, "That's the one." Everyone turned to look, and it was Jingxi. Jun revealed he met her in America, saw her performance, and found her to be a talented and strong girl, which is why she would be on his team. Meanwhile, Jun's grandfather was watching everything live. He questioned what Jun was doing and what he was trying to achieve. Everyone began questioning Jingxi. Overwhelmed by everything, she ran from the place. Hua also stopped Wen and apologized, saying he really tried not to select her, as she had asked, but Jun also didn't select her either. He said it wasn't his fault, but Wen didn't listen and left. Meanwhile, Jun approached Jingxi and asked what she was doing and whether she didn't want to fulfill her dream of becoming an actress. He reminded her it was a great opportunity and she couldn't let it slip away. Jingxi responded that he wouldn't understand because she needed to do a part-time job to pay for her mother's medical expenses, and because of this, she couldn't afford to chase her dream. Jing said she wouldn't earn much doing a part-time job in a year, but if she became a movie star, she would earn a lot in one film and be able to solve all her problems. Jingxi admitted he was right, but said it took time to become a star, and her mother couldn't wait that long. She left after saying this. The manager called Tonk and told her everything that had happened. She explained that the other team had used many tricks to waste Jun's time, but it didn't work. Tonk said she would handle everything. Then the manager asked if Tonk was okay. Tonk replied she was fine and told the manager to handle things herself for now. Then she went to see a doctor, who told her she had liver cancer. She was deeply disturbed by the news. Later, Ming came to Tom while getting close to her and said sorry about some unresolved thing. He told her to understand that he didn't do anything wrong and that it was a family decision he had no control over. Tom shrugged it off and asked about selection as how they could play such tricks and why they couldn't be fair. She said she wouldn't let this happen. Ming apologized, saying he wouldn't do such things anymore. Tom replied she didn't want to hear anything right then and told him to leave. Meanwhile, Jingxi was reflecting on everything June had said and thinking about her dream. She looked at her keychain statue and said she must fulfill her dream. Then she went to the hospital to meet her mother. The doctor came and told her that her mother was recovering well and would be fine soon. He also informed her that she didn't have to pay the medical fees, as the hospital had made it free for her. She was extremely happy and thanked the doctor. As she was leaving, she saw the polar lights and ran toward them, feeling very happy, and it was prepared by someone she least expected.